So it will be a mix of all the languages because ऐसा ही है. So 2-3 years back I was there. So a normal guy, like these guys are kind of okay. We used to call them geeks. हाँ sir, Rohit sir. हम dream ले रहे हैं कि I want to make 100%, 99%. That's the aspiration. मतलब आज हम सड़क पे जाते हैं, you see BMW, so you aspire to buy a BMW. But practically, does it happen? I don't think so. But somehow, if it is in the fate, it will come because if you have worked hard for it. So, on those lines, I would suggest you, or I would start this discussion on a note, who all actually know why they are doing an MBA. Okay, before this, let's see our target audience. आप में से already, who all have already, they know that they are going to go to this particular college. जिनका CAT हो चुका है, जिनकी interview process हो चुकी है. Is there anybody इनको पता है, sir? So you are there. Okay, so you have to join the college.
Yes, I have to join by 15th of next month. 4th.
So you're about you've got a couple of them, and the rest of them are in the preparation mode. So those who have actually given an attempt for a CAT form दे चुके हैं यहाँ पे. इनके अलावा, so you guys are going to give the CAT. Okay. So it's like you are going to give the CAT, and then there will be an interview process, and then that there will be an MBA journey, and then you will be going somewhere. Correct? Ultimately, you will be going somewhere. So who all actually know what they want to do with this MBA? हमें करना क्या है MBA से? Because like these guys have shared their experience कि यार हमें ये ऐसे पढ़ना है. It's all structured. हम लोग बचपन से बोलते हैं मेरा बेटा बड़ा होकर डॉक्टर बनेगा, लॉयर बनेगा. It's fine. Like you get that motivation. So it's all structured. We all know what we have to do. Right? कि अगर मैं 8 घंटे पढ़ूंगा, 10 घंटे पढ़ूंगा, जब मैं बहुत ब्रेनी हूँ तो मैं 4 घंटे पढ़ के CAT क्लियर कर लूँगा. So this is no science. Okay, fine. This is for sure it is going to happen. But the ultimate objective is who all actually know that this is something I want to drive out of the MBA. Anybody who is even about to go to college. कि मेरा ultimate aim है क्या? Okay, maybe it's too early. I might be a little pushing here, but then this is something which will be defined when you're already there in an MBA college. Like the gentleman, he asked the question that how do you choose? Should I go for a finance? Should I go for an HR? Or should I go for a marketing? So I came with this work ex in a HSBC International Bank. So I thought I'm a finance guy. Obviously, I came from a bank, so I have the financial skills. I'm good with numbers. So I am a finance guy. So I go to this college, and so there I discover myself. I'm a kind of extrovert personality. So I like to talk to people. I like to socialize with people a lot. So they see a very good potential in me in terms of the marketing line. But is marketing all about being extrovert? कि आप लोगों से बातचीत करते हो, या किसी को भी लूट सकते हो जैसे बोलते हैं, ऐसा तो नहीं है. So in reality, I think when you start the journey of MBA, you will start discovering yourself as a better person. As if today, we all are kind of, mob followers. I would say कि हाँ, एक trend चल रहा है MBA का, I have to do an MBA, I have to go through the structured part. But when you go in an MBA college, you define yourself. There will be a lot of people coming from different parts of the country, who all have been out of Punjab so far. या अभी तो सिर्फ पंजाब, जो बाहर जाके मतलब they have experienced some time. Anybody? Yeah. And so like most of us are not even out of Punjab. So somehow हम लोग को starting से बचपन से जो structural हम लोग का जो ecosystem हमारा जो environment है, it is somewhat in the Punjab. So the first thing I guess you will experience when you go in an MBA college is the diversity. Right? कि यहाँ पे आपको there will be a lot of people with different mindset who will be coming and with different cultural backgrounds. Even if you look at the top companies today, okay, any company you look at, Google, Facebook, Snap, they are all full of diversified people with different culture and background. That's the first thing we learn here. So now I'll start fine. You have given your interview. So the technical component is already been told by these masters that how do you want to crack the CAT and how can you go to the college. Okay, so when you are in the college, so when you're there in the college, your journey starts. Okay, now somebody was saying, so who all read newspapers and all these things, like how well you keep yourself updated. So don't take it a compulsion. अभी थोड़ी सी compulsion लग रही है. It's like we have been pushed. You're feeling that pain कि यार this is something which I don't want to do but मुझे करना है. ऐसा है कि नहीं है? Be very honest. Let's have a two-way conversation. Even anybody of you can just stand it. How do you feel when you prepare for an MBA? Yeah, you can tell me honestly, no problem. How do you feel?
Actually, before joining IMS, I didn't used to devote much time to the sports column of the newspaper or other business column of the newspaper. But now I feel a bit compulsion because if I need to be updated, I need to be updated about diverse fields. So I feel a bit pushy about reading these topics.
So, round of applause for her. What's your name?
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi. So this girl now, she says that she obviously girl, why would a girl have an interest in the sports column of a newspaper? But now she is developing an interest. So in this way, we do a lot of things in which we might not have an interest as of today. But the day you give yourself a compelling reason कि मुझे ये MBA इसलिए करनी है because this is something which I own. I want to do this. Thank God that you guys are going in an era of MBA where the ecosystem is fully developed. You guys are young guns, you have got good brain. When you will go there, you will experiment, you will do a lot of practical projects and everything. So I wish you guys all the best. But the fact is, the best thing is it's a well-developed ecosystem where you have an idea, you know the business, and they see a talent. There'll be people, right people who will be hiring you, or there'll be funding agency who will be ready to fund your ideas. So you're going in a very good time. So take a full advantage of it. We are just at the beginning of this ecosystem. So whosoever takes the advantage will be some big shot in coming years. So these are the few things. Just don't get blind on it. Just take an example. Okay, so we all know Uber cab, right? Uber cab. So we all know this Uber cab. Why? Because of the scam. But do you know that the business model itself is a big innovation. आज की डेट पे अगर मुझे एक टैक्सी एजेंसी चलानी है तो पहले क्या सोचते थे हम लोग एक जगह चाहिए गाड़ियाँ खरीदनी है फिर मैं टैक्सी की सर्विस चलाऊँगा तो what these guys do they ask the people who already have a car to come and join the company so no investment then they arrange these people to the people who need a cab services. It's an innovation sitting right there in the office. So do you see this? So this company is worth like $1 million all across the globe. So in this way, there are so many innovations which are actually breeding. So if you take things in a very, understand the business and the ecosystem around you in a very minute way, I'm sure you will find yourself here. मैं ऐसा बंदा हूँ. I have seen my dad, I have seen my friend doing this. So let me take the advantage of this particular MBA and go for it. Getting it? So any specifically you want me to tell them about how in the interview cracking of 21 lakh at Trident, how your MBA helped, and during MBA what care you had taken which some others may have not have taken, which helped you in getting to a very good profile. Okay, so as I said, this BIMTECH, Birla Institute of Management Technology, as sir rightly said, fine, I'm not able to make it to IMS. In case any of you guys are not able to make it to that big level, so don't curse yourself. Don't get demotivated and don't break down. Trust me, it's like you make your own college IMS itself. Have that power and it will come because nobody in my college from past 8 years would have thought this package of, okay, everybody's looking at the package, but I'll tell you this is like an iceberg which you see on a ocean. Nobody sees there's a bigger iceberg below it. It took that time. It took me almost 6 months to follow this company. I applied on 27th of October. Trust me guys, 6 months. 6 महीने मेरे दोस्त प्लेस हो रहे हैं. Everybody when they get placed, they write there on their shirt, you celebrate, there's a social media, लोग जाके, you celebrate. And I was just, celebrating with them, but I had this feeling that if I want to sit in a company, I'll get placed. But then I wanted to be there where I wanted to be. ये जिद थी, and especially for this particular company, I was competing at a national level. These guys, they don't go to any particular college. ये लोग क्या करते हैं कि जितने भी schools हैं. So like when I am going for this competition, so there'll be students from IMS Ahmedabad. तो पहले आ जाएगा अच्छा ये brand name आ गया. तो Micromax वाले को बोल दो कि Apple और iPhone वाला भी आते हैं. It's like this. So it's like IMS Ahmedabad is there, Nursing Monty is there. So lot of good colleges are there. But in the end, I think what should matter is कि तुमने कितनी मेहनत करी है किसी चीज़ के. And 6 months dedicatedly, what all? And trust me, it's not that I'm a work-ex guy. That's why I couldn't make it. There's not even a single question that have been asked to me about my previous work-ex. The only thing I was drilled on was what I have learned from MBA. How this MBA program has helped me become a better person. And trust me, I have changed for a good. इनफैक्ट फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी itself इतनी मेहनत मैंने कैट भी नहीं की होगी जितनी इसके लिए मैंने इस कंपनी के लिए मेहनत की है. It's just not books. It's like lot of things. I'm a guy who would have the least amount of interest what is happening in the textile industry. But I made sure I know all possible numbers not only in India but across the globe. What are the new innovation happening in the textile industry? So that like somebody was just saying, if in an interview they ask you this question, so how should you respond? For example, the one he was this guy, he was like I have to sell a pen. So he was trying to relate the attribute of a pen with the personality of the customer and trying to understand his need. So what you do is, if you are kind of little good salesman, and let's say they are very good, let's say a company like Dabur has turned up and they want to hire you. So what you will do is you will follow the procedure. Sir, this is the quality, it matches your personality. But then you will stop after a certain amount of time. And then they will ask you, so why did you stop? Why are you not selling it further? You tell them simply, sir, I don't want to go for a pushy sale. Pushy sale, अगर मैं आपको जबरदस्ती आज बेच दूँगा तो आप कल मुझसे नहीं लोगे. So this reflects in your personality. This guy knows the key thing. कि यार ये धक्के में नहीं बेच रहा. Only when the customer is trying to buy it, that's where I am buying it. Getting it? So this is something which you will learn in MBA. But trust me, this is not that painful. ठीक है, उन्होंने जो बोला है, the journey is little painful till the college, but the whole journey needs to be enjoyed. It needs to be enjoyed on a daily basis. You get up in the morning, it's a habit. अब किसी भी MBA कॉलेज में जाओगे तो अखबार तो मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. So it's good. Everybody is reading newspaper. Read the front few lines. In these days, trust me, like we are tech savvy generation. Everybody has a POI, NDDB app. I'm sure सबके पास होगा. सबके मोबाइल में आप तो होगी, खोली ना खोली अलग बात. Am I right? हाँ? थोड़ा बोलो यार. हमने जैसे आप छोड़ करना. So this app is there. So why do you need that hard print? You have a digital media, use it. So now in the end, I'll tell you a few more things which is very important, especially in this particular time. So when you use this app, you keep yourself updated with the knowledge. Then you take your classes, you have your breakfast, and then you learn. And it's just not a book in MBA. Trust me, they'll be sharing a lot of case studies, especially for you guys who are going to go now. I would suggest since you have 2 to 3 months, there are so many forums where people are like blog writers. So these students from these colleges, they write blogs. Okay, so they write their own experience, what kind of projects they are doing. I think the only thing that has helped me in MBA is the live projects. So you get this opportunity where in companies, they will tell on a website, I'll make it very easy for you. We want to know what is happening in the market. So they will delegate this task as हम लोग को दे देंगे. So then we'll do the projects for these particular companies. You might not get paid or you might get paid. It's a 1 week or a 2 week project. Now even I have like 1 month of time. So even if I'm placed, so my interest is to again go for the projects and enhance my resume. My resume is my life. Apart from what my family have done, my own thing is my resume. So the only thing that I'm interested at this point of time is कि मुझे कुछ ना कुछ नया करना है. For example, I'm a marketing guy. So if I sit in an interview and somebody asks me, okay, tell me, would you take decision? आप ये decision ले लोगे? I'll say no or yes. Correct. But then he needs to understand कि ये rational decision है. Though he is a marketing guy, पर इसके पास numbers हैं. He has got that data. वो ऐसे नहीं बोल रहा हाँ सर मैं decision ले लूँगा interview में. He is trying to back up his answer with the data. So it is too early for you guys कि तुम interview में जब भी जा रहे हो तो it might be too early for them to expect it. But then yes, the only differentiating factor can be, since in case you're going for any interview, remember any interview in life, always have this point कि मेरे अलावा और भी बच्चे आएंगे. So some questions are common, some questions are very common. You should know what you are. You should actually know what exactly you have done throughout your life. If you're a sports person, trust me, sport is something which actually enhances your brain a lot. Who all are sports enthusiasts? Because sports में बहुत interest है. Who all play? I mean like good. So if you're be connected to sports, trust me, this will help you. So if they ask you, so do you know something on the spirit of, have you worked in a team, or do you know some strategies and all that? So since you're not worked, you can say say, yes sir, I'm a sports enthusiast, I like to keep myself, very healthy, good mind, and help me focus good on, studies. But during some, I've been part of some sports events where we have done this. So whatever small things which you have done, feel free to share it. If you are a fresher, and if you have done something very good, for example, you might have written a good blog, or you might have if somebody asks you, okay fine, so define, why should we take you, or like, why do you want to join this particular college? So don't fake it. Never ever fake your personality in an interview. Please. Because that's the disconnect. If somebody is saying that these guys are 20 or 25 years old, experienced guys who know how to hire, take students, the problem will come that जो तुम बोल रहे हो और जो तुम में वो समझ रहे हो, there will be a gap, there will be a disconnect in that. Fine, so don't fake it, but then polish your actual, the real you. This is real me. Okay, don't just be a follower. कि मैं actual में मेरी ये personality है. This is exactly how I have to reflect it. Then sugarcoat it with some good words. Yes sir, I am a person who is determined to make it to MBA because I want to do this. I see that these days guys like Bansal, after passing out, they have come up with such a good business. I also wanted to be in that era where there was spirit है. So give yourself a compelling reason as well as prove that guy कि हाँ यार, this is the problem and this is, I really see this fire in this guy and I should take it. ठीक है? So and internship, we were talking about internship. Yes. I think internship, if in case you have done in your graduation, is a very good tool which you can leverage during your interview. Probably आप लोगों ने genuinely वो करेंगे interview. ऐसा नहीं कि घर में बैठ के वहाँ से कहीं से records ले लिए या बस फाइलें भरती हो दे. Because that's the first interaction you have with the industry. Okay, so that's the first. So if somebody in a B school is taking you, they're taking you because of the fact they also see that this guy can be a a good manager in the future or a good entrepreneur. Fine. So that's the first connection you have. So leverage on the internship. So during my internship, I remember the name of my mentor. मेरे mentor ये थे. So that talks about you are a people guy. So these are people, you know how to handle people. आपको अगर आपके mentor का नाम ही नहीं याद है, so give that quality. Give them something to buy. Okay, so talk about so I learned this from my mentor. Under his guidance, we used to do this and all that. Show that thing. So interview, don't make it like kind of structured. Make it more like a conversation. If you feel it's kind of a story, then it will be more interesting to hear as well as to tell. Okay. So this is it. In the end, I say MBA is like you got 3 elements in it. Academics, which anyway it will be taught to you. Then the most important is the playground, which we call it a playground, because there are a lot of clubs. When you go to B school, there will be a debating club, there will be a sports club, there will be a food club. I mean, like for 2 years, the food that I have been eating, we only design the menu. हमें खाना क्या है, हम ही कोई design करते हैं. So it's like a hotel. Morning today, I'll show you. I got a food menu in my own phone. कि आज हम लोग ये मिलने वाला है. This is what we are going to feed 400 students like this. This is the culture in my college. This is some हर college में होगा, and there is nobody. I mean, like no faculty support, nothing. We generate own funds through. That's the innovation. धंधा नहीं इकट्ठा करेंगे, but then yes, we'll do a lot of business activities. We'll generate own funds. We fund these clubs, and then we enjoy it. So it's like you running your own shop in an MBA college. So there are a lot of clubs which will help you develop that mindset. That how can you own something and how can you be more accountable for it. And in between that, you will develop some skills, and that is when you will define yourself. Okay, यार मैं तो ये बंदा हूँ. I'm good at designing things on the computer, or I'm good with my numbers and all these things. So this is it. So this is the playground. And third, in the industry, keep yourself updated with what is happening in the industry. For example, recently I was in a conference with the Harvard Business School in Delhi, and these guys are, trust me, it's like अभी तो हमारा challenge है कि हमने क्या कैसे play करना है. So there is a lot of innovation happening in MBA. So this course is called redesigning MBA. This concept is called design thinking. how do we think about a lot of objects around us? And there is one college in, I'll tell you, it's one of the colleges in Symbiosis. So what these guys do is, this is called MBA in Innovation. Okay, this is the course name. And MBA in Innovation is like, there'll be no exams. This is a new course, so there is no exams. So they just ask people to apply for it. They took a 60 students ka batch and they tell them there will be no placements. Because in India, when you go for an MBA, that's the first thing we have in mind is placement. हम ROI वैसे ही देखते हैं. After doing an MBA, I know that ROI is just not one component that you should look at an MBA. There are a lot of other things which are abstract in nature, but which makes you a very good person in the end. So there will be no placement for these students. So they said, are you ready to go for an MBA? They thought there will be no application. So there were now 40,000 applications all across India. So they hire a batch of 60 students. They start this course and they tell them what innovation is and all that. So they do a reverse MBA. It's like, as a structured MBA course nahi kiye logon ne. This is what they follow. And luckily, strangely what we have observed is that these all 60 students are placed in very good companies like Amazon, Flipkart, Google, and in the R&D sector, research and development. And the main thing which came up, for these guys was, okay, fine. This is just not the one way of looking at MBA. MBA means different to different people. Where I was in like somewhere in Trident Noida, I have seen people saying, यार मैं MBA यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक अच्छे घर में शादी करने के लिए आया. Yeah, I mean, trust me, you will have this mentality. More you will get into the diversified pool, they'll say, लड़कियों में especially, okay, fine, I'm doing an MBA just because I want to get into they never took a placement. But do you want to get reflected? But this is just one part of it. So MBA for most of us, or I guess for every one of us, should be like, this is one platform where I need to change my life. Because there it's not like, कि जो बंदा 9 pointer ले रहा है, स्कूल में तो ये होता है कि 95 वाला आ गया, 96 वाला वो topper है. There it's not like that. It's any company would hire you because of the holistic, approach that you have developed during the year. It's not that the 9 CGPA वाले ही अच्छी companies से place हुए. I'm an average guy. My CGPA, okay, it's not that bad. I'm somewhere on 75%, 7.5. Though I'm in the top 10 of my own college. It's not because of academics, because of a lot of things which I do. I participate in debates. I play a lot of sports. I actually am a part of, I do a lot of CSR activities. So, that's one area where I like. And then I write sometimes blogs, sometimes I don't like. So it's like, you develop that kind of personality. So, don't be afraid, you're going to enjoy this journey. Trust me, it's not that painful. But अगर pain लेके ही start करोगे, then it will be more painful. Where you will lose yourself. You will forget yourself. यार मैं क्या किसी को follow करते मैं actual में मैं क्या हुआ वही नहीं. Getting every one of you is a unique guy. Correct? This is it. I think there shouldn't be any problem. Just chill down and relax. You will definitely have a good future if you have enjoyed the journey. Anything. Any specific.
Any questions?
Yeah.
In my case, sports on average scoring plus 2 and 10. So doesn't it backfire me in an interview? Like they are ultimately they have seen academic good performance, but throughout my schooling time, I've played a lot of sports.
So the question itself speaks that you have been molding yourself and playing more sports because you think it will backfire you one day. But no, buddy, it's like if you have a passion for at least one particular thing, they need to see these, okay fine, you can't show your passion for MBA because you've not started the MBA. But if they see this guy has got a passion for at least one of the things which he actually loves to do, then it shouldn't be a problem. Why should it be a problem then? I mean, you are a guy who is very good in sports and now who is trying to do an MBA, so why should it find you? Take a pride in that. Sir, it speaks about you that, okay, in the coming time, I'm just not a guy who is going to sit in a chair and please my belly. I'm a guy who is very health conscious, who loves to play sports, and I'm going to make that personality. Sports give me good mind to work on in the office. They know the value of it. That's why even if you really join the company, they'll have a lot of sports events. So thinking those things. Don't know yourself. Anil Kumble is like a software engineer, a master software engineer, and he's like great one personality all over the time. You can take this classes. Sorry? Which?
Which college?
It's Trident Group BIMTECH. It's in Greater Noida.
And then how many did you score in that?
I was around 79 point something.
So did you give any other?
Yeah, actually I am, like following the brands. Last thing once the Bangalore was in picture. I almost went to Mumbai with demand draft. I took a U-turn. Because I have been very far from my family for quite a long time. One of the factors was, as and when I get a time to, come and see my mom and dad, I can come. So that was one of the elements. But then it was a rational decision because I myself made a visit to my college. I think that helps us a lot. Wherein you at least know where you are going. It's not as if joining a bag and point also. If you make one or two visits, this is khana khate hain. I'm going to pay you 12-30 lakhs for let me at least see the kind of food I'm going to eat from the reviews. So I get to know when I अपना डर होता है सर मैं भी सुना वहाँ जाके बैग लेके जा रहे हैं डर के स्टार्टिंग में उल्टे सीधे सवाल पूछ रहे हैं होते हैं उस टाइम में नहीं था दिमाग में अभी थोड़ा है तो I know but we have sometimes it's good to be curious at least you experiment and then you gain that knowledge अच्छा है speak the way you want. And for people who are going to join the college, I would seriously suggest there are a lot of in YouTube. If you open the YouTube tutorial, there are a lot of things where you can learn about. First of all, you can have a good hand on the Excel. MS Office is something which you can try. It will be easy. I know somehow you guys know it, but MS Office will give you a very good advantage in terms of doing the project because everything is digital now. It's no more copy and write. Okay? So everything is digital. So you will actually increase your speed on the keyboard. You learn more about the Excel tricks. How do you handle so much of data? So it's like when you join some good club in your own college, so you tell them I know this. So that differentiates you in terms of faculty also. So when the potential recruiter comes, that will just these are the people because data analytics is the future now. Everything is going digital, so there's a lot of data all across the world. So Excel knowledge is something must. Not for the other guys, I mean it's too early for you, but for the people who are going to join. So you can have a good answer on Excel. And MS Office is something I think if you learn in a very good way before you get join, it will help you. And then they have a little bit understanding of what does Six Sigma mean and all that. Little bit. But don't get too technical in that because that is some other part of it. So if you also gain all these knowledges, because the book mein jo hoga, it will be all PPTs. 2 years is PPT. All PowerPoints. That's it. You will come to know ये trimester आ गया, वो trimester आ गया. So that's it. Any other question you guys have?
What is the value of actual short-term projects in the college?
Very, very much. STP, short-term projects, I think it's very important. Are you a fresher?
Yeah.
You will be a fresher. So what happened is that let's say so you'll have people around you with WorkX. Okay, I'll tell you how this will connect. So like I did a STP with PEX. PEX is like Punjab X. It's in Rajpura. So these guys are into branding. ये अंडे बनाते हैं, कलरफुल अंडे बनाते हैं, अच्छे अंडे भी बनाते हैं, नॉर्मल वाले तो है ही हैं, ये कलरफुल अंडे भी बनाते हैं, which they are trying to innovate the how the way we look at the eggs. होली के दिनों में आपको कलरफुल अंडे मिलेंगे वहाँ, and Rajpura में इनका plant है. So I did a project with them, a tri-city marketing plan, and then I happened to narrate the story in one of the interviews. In the here itself for the Trident process, wherein I have people in the textile industry like from Wellspun and Bombay dyeing serving 12-13 years. So the back कुछ भी नहीं था उन लोगों के सामने. So I tell them the story. So they were like laughing at the story. But the thing is, I need to from where did I get the story? STP. I developed good contacts. So when you will be in the competition with the people who will have a WorkX and the employer is open for everybody, fresher as well as the WorkX people. When he sees this guy has done an STP and has learned much more than what experience guy is selling, all you need is an opportunity. And this STP itself, you just can't tell somebody, sir, I am good in analytical skills. Okay, fine, what have you done? Sir, मैंने अपने club में ये. अच्छा, how do you want me to validate it? पता कैसे चलेगा? 10 मिनट के इंटरव्यू में how would he judge you? कि सर मैंने कॉलेज में ये सब किया. To judge that, it will be written. Did my STP for 1 or 2 weeks with this particular company. Get it? So you narrate that story. But during this STP, I learned how to work on the data, what branding is all about, and how innovatively I have done a branding. If somebody asked me, I did my internship with ICICI Bank, and all I did is I just changed the LCD position from this place to this place. Yeah, and if somebody they laugh and say why? Because sir, the position was totally incorrect, and the customer who were waiting in the queue, they were getting impatient. It was not able to attract them. So in order to mellow down that patience level and be little humble and these guys will help you, I just move the TV here. But you will just see yourself, calm down थोड़ा सा, TV देखो तो थोड़ा नंबर आ जाए. Simple but good to say. Small things you do and you tell them. It's no rocket science. पर ये है कि STP will definitely give you a lot of edge. More STP, इतने भी नहीं करना, but do a very qualitative STP. Fine, let's say you choose a marketing way. So in marketing research, you did one STP. In branding, you did one STP. That should help you. It's not like he should not have the feeling here, but there is नौकरी लेने के लिए STP नहीं. It should be like in order to learn the process, you did an STP. That's it. Any other thing? Yeah, you guys. मतलब थोड़ा सा you guys resemble to me. पीछे बैठ के दोस्तों से हम लोग गपशप भी मारे हो. But that's fine. It's cool. Any questions? Anything you guys want to ask? Sunday काफी बोर हो रहे हो. Maybe everybody wants to go to KFC and India.
Top 3 attributes or the learning which helped you in cracking this interview. 5-6 rounds. Which, as per your own analysis, which helped you in the whole process.
I think that's what I just narrated in short. If you feel this as an obligation कि माँ बाप ने पैसे लगा दिए हमारे ऊपर और हम MBA करने आए हैं, तो then this will not help. The idea is that now I am here among people whom I don't know. So I have to create that identity. When I wake up and when I go in the class, it's not like I should not ask a question to my faculty. If I don't understand, let me ask a question to my faculty. There will be a lot of new knowledge they'll give. And there will be a lot of people who will try to push the faculty. Sir, और तेज चलाओ, और तेज पढ़ाओ. नहीं आ रहा समझ में पूछो. You are equally a member of this particular of the college. So जहाँ आप जो भी कर रहे हो, do justice to the time. If you're coming here on a Sunday today to know from these guys how to crack a CAT, then when you go back home, तो वो समझ लेना कि यार मैंने कम से कम एक चीज़ तो सीख ही ली है आज. कि what was common among all these things? It's all structured. Simple the correlation in the amount of time you give, the quality time you give, and the CAT percent. It's directly correlated. One thing is common. मैं बैठा यही सोच रहा था. इन तीनों में कॉमन किया था. ठीक है. So it's like this. So this is the first thing. Justice. Like if you are there in the class, yes, I need to learn it. वहाँ पे जाके माहौल ऐसा होगा, you will be distracted. मेला लगा होता है स्कूल में. ट्रस्ट में मेला लगा होता है. हर रोज एक मेल आ जाती है कि कल ये एक्टिविटी हो रही है, कल ये होने वाला है, कल वो होने वाला है. Okay, fine. There will be a lot of this is what is like. This is what is expected out of a manager. There will be a lot of work तुमको दिया जाएगा, तुम्हें exactly करना है वो तुम्हें बताना चाहिए. So maintain that thing कि मुझे पढ़ाई तो नहीं छोड़नी है. अगर मैं दिन में 1 घंटा भी अगर आप PPT होती है, मतलब ऐसे करके मारोगे 10 मिनट लगेंगे. PPT के बुलेट पॉइंट्स होते हैं. बुलेट पॉइंट 4-5 भी आप रिटन कर लोगे, इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू टू लर्न. So this is the first thing. Second thing, I would say just go wild. Go wild in the sense अपने में फाड़ दो. It's like whatever is coming in the college, be it a guest lecture. I still remember, please sir, if you, I think, और सब मुझे याद है. When I was there, अभी भी याद है ये, जबकि 3 साल पुरानी बात होती है. I think वो सर का जो बेटा था, he was in gyms. And who got placed at that point 8.5 and he shared a story कि
Ishmeet Singh.
Yes. So he shared a story कि जब भी कोई guest faculty आती थी मैं वो lecture attend करने जाता था and I developed a good PR with these people and through that PR only he developed the placement thing because sometimes you don't know how is the economy, how economy is going to be, are they going to be good companies coming from here or not. So something you find interesting, people coming to your college, you develop that PR. So I still remember that, and that point was in my mind somehow when I went to BIMTECH also. तो कोई भी आता था पहले बोलता है चमचा है यार, पीछे पीछे चले जाता है, बोलते हैं ऑब्वियसली बात है, जहाँ देखो चमचा चमचा है यार. इट्स लाइक द चमचा थिंग इज ओवर नाउ. दिस इज व्हाट PR is. Means you develop the industry relationship. अगर कोई कॉलेज में कुछ भी एक्टिविटी हो रही है, if somebody is coming, if there is any activity like कि आपको किसी चीज़ में पार्टिसिपेट करना है, डिबेट आ रही है, तो ask yourself why I should not participate in it. What is stopping me to participate in it? अगर तुम्हारे इंटरेस्ट का नहीं है तो जोर जबरदस्ती होती मत कर दो. बट इफ़ यू थिंक यार मैं हार जाऊँगा या मेरी बेइज्जती होगी, बाकी मेरा इंटरेस्ट है थोड़ा बहुत, तो मुश्किल है. डोंट स्टॉप योरसेल्फ. यू जस्ट इमेजिन, मानते हैं कि यही लगता है कि यार घर वालों ने पैसे तो पे किए हैं, सबके सेम ही जा रहे हैं, मैं क्यों नहीं करूँगा. ठीक है ना. मैं आई एम नॉट प्राउड ऑफ द फैक्ट कि मैं कॉलेज से सबसे ज़्यादा हाईएस्ट पैकेज लेके निकला हूँ. मैं इसलिए प्राउड ऑफ द फैक्ट हूँ कि आई गॉट 12 to 15 ट्रॉफीज in my own college are there in my house. If you connect with me on a Facebook, you will see any activity. ऐसा हो गया था कि अगर मैं पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा हूँ, I'm going to win the competition. I think रोहित सर were always linked to my Facebook. ऐसा हो गया. कुछ भी आ रहा है, मैंने पार्टिसिपेट करना ही करना है. स्पोर्ट्स मटकी फोड़ कॉम्पिटिशन वो भी जीत गया.
सबसे पहला डिबेट वाला फर्स्ट
ग्रेट डिबेट वाला मटकी फोड़ा, मैं मटकी पूरी फोड़ सकता था, वो भी किया. I want to discover myself more. I want to tell the stories here. घर आता हूँ तो TV में ऐड देखता हूँ, पापा से शेयर करने लग गया था. तो पता आपको ऐड या ऐसी क्यों बना रहे हैं लोग, तो बोले ये तो गधे हैं, ऐसी ऐड बनाते हैं, कौन देखता है. मैंने कहा आप टारगेट मार्केट हो ही नहीं. द टारगेट मार्केट इज समथिंग समवन एल्स. इफ यू डोंट लाइक दैट ऐड, then he was like, okay, you're talking sense. The investment that we have made on you is paying, so you're learning it, marketing. So make your parents feel when you go back home कि हाँ यार बच्चे पे या बच्ची पे पैसा लगाया है, तो इट्स वर्किंग फाइन. सेकेंड थिंग दिस, so go while whatever is coming, related to your attitude, I think it should help. And in the end, be humble. Be humble, humility. I think some of you might be like नहीं परफॉर्म कर पा रहे हैं, कुछ बहुत ही अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं. तो कुछ होते हैं कि तिनका तोड़ा और पहाड़ जैसा गाना गाते हैं, ऐसा भी नहीं. Always be humble because humbleness will help you. मतलब मेरे को थोड़ा लगता था कि यार मैं थोड़ा ईगो आ रही है मेरे अंदर या प्राउड फीलिंग आ रही है. Because humility will keep you grounded. It will keep your mind open. Because when you blind yourself, you just think कि जो मैं कर रहा हूँ मैं सही कर रहा हूँ. You will never be able to work in a group. And group work is something very important. Everything there is a group work. People from different cultural background will work in a group. So always be humble and your acceptance. Understand this one thing. ये वहाँ पे acceptance शक्ल देखी नहीं होती यार, ये ऐसा दिखने में ऐसा दिखने में तुम्हारे ग्रुप में नहीं होती. वहाँ पे अकल ज़्यादा देखी जाएगी. So it's like your acceptance will be much more if you are humble. अगर तुम attitude में रहोगे और फिर काम करोगे, then I think you are restricted to only one छोटा सा group, which might dismantle anything. So ये कुछ global ज्ञान भी नहीं है. I think very normal सी चीज़ें हमारे human life में, and this should help. Just all aliens. I have somehow, I don't know whether this guy is like full of fire that I want to break it. I just want to rush into it. Yes.
Sir, जैसे अभी MD
Sumit. No sir.
Sumit sir.
Yeah.
Like whenever we go for an MBA college or for a job interview, there's a lot of competition that we have to face. So how to cope up with that? Like always, whenever there is an activity, the person who have achieved earlier is first asked whether he could do it or not. The person who has not even tried it wants to do it. So he has not, sometimes it happens कि उसे एक opportunity नहीं. So how could we convince others? How could we cope up with that competition?
Good question.
Good question. Actually, there's a my professor Rochak is my very mature professor in our college, and he used to say, don't try to become everything for everyone. Aim at becoming something for someone, and it's a very powerful thing. Reason why? Because when you think that in order to crack this, I want to learn everything which is happening all around, you will fail. Trust me, you will fail. This is why companies have failed, and this is why most of the people in life also fail. when you try to see अच्छा business line भी पढ़ लो, news भी पढ़ लो, ये भी कर लो, रात को भी पढ़ लो, सुबह भी पढ़ लो, अच्छा उसने 1 घंटा पढ़ के कि उसके मैथड को फॉलो करो, नहीं. It's like if you know that I want to be something for someone, so what is that something and who is that someone? If that clarity is there, you will never feel the competition. Trust me, because उस competition में अगर तुम enter कर रहे हो, that means you have acquired a hygiene factor, which is common for everyone. कि अगर एक knowledge चाहिए किसी particular किसी भी subject में, I have that. That is the this is called hygiene factor. सब में ये हो गया होगा. Then is what a differentiating factor. What should differentiate you from the other person? So the idea is not कि मैं fail होंगी कि नहीं होंगी. The idea is कि मैं कितनी confident उस चीज़ को crack करूँ. And this is I learned from my father, like if you win, your confidence increases, you fail, your experience increases. Correct? So, so have that faith in you. So it's not like, never be cautious about मेरा competition की लोगों के साथ होने वाला है. Always define yourself कि मैं एक ऐसा candidate हूँ who is if going for a particular college interview is not bothered about who is coming from which particular background. कोई फालतू इंग्लिश बोल रहा है या ये कर रहा है वो कर रहा है, it's fine. Or somebody looking so gorgeous or looking very confident, it's a human nature to develop this mindset. No, the idea is कि अगर मैं जाऊँगी इस interview room के अंदर, this is what I have to talk about. This is what my job is and I'll come back happy. You should have a satisfaction because under their influence you might ruin your own performance. This is all my, I am giving the asterisk one. This is all my experience. So this is not the golden rule. You guys will develop your own golden rule. This is something which I think has helped me, and and I hope I'll keep on working more hard under the guidance of my mentors, which I always look forward to. I still remember the meeting की बात हो रही थी, pestle याद आ रहा था, pestle. I would recall it. I could still recall those things which sir used to tell me.
I have to tell them again, debate में, essay में, life में कहीं न कहीं
एक सर वो बड़ा बोलते थे, वो अर्जुन के 3 वाला टाइप. थोड़े फिलर्स याद है, मैं सुबह आने होते थे, है नहीं थे, स्टूडियो लेके आए थे पढ़ाई करने के लिए. उस टाइम कैट चलता था, अभी भी कैट चल रहा होगा दिमाग के अंदर. तो भाई थोड़ा सा नॉस्टैल्जिक फीलिंग आ गई है काम की बेटा. That's it. Sincerely thank Rekhi sir and Rohit sir and I think Vishal sir on that. I was in touch with them in all these 2 years journey. फिर आपकी शादी हो गई. शादी हो गई. सर कैसे कर रहे हैं? As if it is an accident में. क्या करूँ सर हो गई. You should be happy ना. हाँ I wish you guys all the best and trust me, sir and team actually put a lot of efforts. See, it's a business for sure, but the aspiration that they link and the expectation that they try to link with you guys is higher. So महाभारत का अगर मैंने महाभारत 2-3 बार देखी है एमपी कॉलेज. वो तो देखिए जब तुम गुरु को पास जाओ तो अपना सब कुछ दे दो यार. वो जो मांग रहा है वो दे दो. Follow them blindly because it's just not your batch. With them, there are a lot of batch which have passed out and they have seen students making it to IIMs and they know. It's like, when their parents tell you, yaar, ye mat karo, because they know it. You know, galti bachpan mein. Same like this. If they're telling you some tricks and all these, the methodology, how to crack it, it's जो जितना ज़्यादा देगा वो उतना ज़्यादा लेगा. It's has been like, give and take. So, do that. Cut your ego. Be a very good human. Sharing dream.
He was our first batch student. Or since that time till this time, unfortunately, because of the market has been competitions offering very low discounts, we are still in loss. Every March, April, May, I have to break some FDs or some insurance certificates, keep the things running and all. Then the season comes and we again become happy and all. But in spite of that, what gives us happiness and energy is, to achieve this, what they think brought today. What told when Abhay Raj's sister's marriage was there, they invited us for the celebration. When they come to the city, they come for a cold drink. we have a cake cutting. So all that is what is driving. We feel that we are contributing to the God's cause or nation also in this way. So that is what is the main driving force. So आप लोगों को उसको रेस्पिरेट करके अच्छे से फायदा लेना है और तभी फायदा, ठीक है. अभी आप सी हिज कमिटमेंट ऑन ए संडे फादर साहब को लेके 3 hours के लिए.
I told him father sorry रहेगा, you just bear with me for some time.
मैंने जस्ट फेसबुक पे उनको लिखा था कि 10th को है, you try if you can possibly come. So he immediately said yes sir, I will be there. So that is what is called love and affection. So I request you all, अभी आज के सेशन से कुछ आप लोगों में से कम देखो, this is a very touchwood, very great example. 79.99, almost 80% आई जनरल कैटेगरी. And if we can reach to 21 lakh package, मैं बोलता हूँ 21 नहीं भी होगा, एवरेज 9 भी आप लोग पहुँचो. और रीनम सचदेवा थी आपके साथ, एक रीनम सचदेवा, she went to ICFI Mumbai, and post that she has been placed with Kotak Mahindra Bank in equity research at 9.6%. So ICFI Mumbai जो है वो 120 रैंक पे आता है इंडिया में. बट अगेन शी वॉज लाइक ही डिड CII की मीटिंग्स. बॉम्बे में मैंने उसे बोला था जब बॉम्बे रहेगी, बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज के स्टॉक मार्केट के प्रोग्राम सैटरडे संडेज को कुछ ना कुछ करती रही. अब आज वो इक्विटी रिसर्च में उसको सारा वो काम आना था. उसके इंटरव्यू में उसने अच्छा हो गया. 9.6 इज अ वेरी गुड पैकेज फॉर ए स्टार्टअप फ्रेशर इन कोटक महिंद्रा बैंक. तो आपके वो तो है ही है, उसको तो कर ही सकते हैं और उसके ऊपर और जाने, ठीक है. So very good sandwiches are waiting us with cold tea. We'll enjoy them, but before that we will give small token of love and regards. Sir, please come to give it. You are very kind to have come along with him. मुझे अभी तक याद है सर 2 बार आए थे सेंटर में जो डिसीजन.
My father still he still don't trust me, कि मैंने कर लिया है, ये खत्म हो गया. And I have accomplished my duty.
It is such a beginning of a very good career, touch wood, and lot of things to go. So sir, सबसे पहले बेटे साहब को फैसिलिटेट करें. हाँ जी. हमारे सावर जी, अब आ जाओ, उसको छोड़ दो, उसको बंद कर देते हैं.